Hello everyone, this is Salami and I'm going to present final year project for diploma program, which is development of IoT attendance tracker using QR code. Now the question is, how can track attendance with QR code? Back then, it was super hard for teacher to check students' attendance whether they attend their class or lecture session or not. But nowadays, we can apply IoT things to check students' attendance whether they escape the class or not. And at first, we can generate a specific QR code for each student, which is contain their name and metric number as their information. And each of the students, as we can see in here, have a different different pattern of QR code because they contain different information for the students. As for reader for the QR code, we can start with Arduino. And as we can see in here, this is Arduino IDE code for the program, for the project. At first, we can define the file header for the QR code reader and define the output, which is start with Arduino IDE code. And as we can see in here, at first, we can include the file that we need for this project, such as SPI, Arduino hash, and ASP32CAM, because I use ESP32CAM to detect QR code for the student as the QR code reader. And then we need to define the pin for the camera for the ESP32CAM. And then we can set the function that we need for this project in order to read QR code from. Don't forget to put the sheet for Google spreadsheet, which is the data that we read from ESP QR code will transfer to Google spreadsheet, and I will tell about it later. And as we can see in here, we can define the Wi-Fi for the prototype, and as we can see at setup function, it will set up for ESP32CAM with AI Thinker set pins and for Wi-Fi setup too. And then for the loop function, if the setup reader all okay, it will start to read the data from the QR code, just like as we can see in here. Right after that, it will print the data from the block, and it will read the last data from it that detected by ESP32CAM, and it will send to the block num. Right after that, it will print the data from the block, and it will read the last data from it that detected by ESP32CAM, and it will send to the block num. In block num, it will store the information that sent by ESP32CAM. And then for the read data from block function, the data that scanned from ESP32CAM will store in here, Google spreadsheet, which is contain QR code, date, time. For the user information will appear in here according to the date they scan their QR code to the system, and when they scan their QR in order to make sure user information stored successfully in this Google spreadsheet, we need to edit the function for the Google spreadsheet code, and this is the code for the project. The data that scanned from ESP32 cam will read from at, at this code to make sure it will store at this Google spreadsheet.